Well, good morning Spurs fans, it's Paul Hotspur Hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. I think Tottenham's back, don't you? I think that was our best performance of the year last night against Brentford. I had a good evening. I went down to the Surrey Hills Hotel where a load of Spurs fans meet up for games, and it was a nice rollicking atmosphere here. I thought shit was going to go down when we went 3-1 up. But what a great game for Tottenham. What a great game to shut up a few of the doubters, I think. We could clearly see our football in action last night, and it really worked well, Two of the goals came from us just pressing Brentford so hard, man. Pressing Brentford so hard. Brentford tried to play football, in fairness to them, but, Thomas Frank, the master of the plan B, didn't have a plan B for us last night. Came out with a few excuses I heard in the press conference about being, weakened, and I suppose some of our lovely fans will run with that. Oh, it's only a weakened Brentford team. Hey, well, they had every chance to recycle through their squad during the midweek. Maybe they didn't do as well as Ange Postecoglou. Ange in all the way, man. Absolutely brilliant. Look, the game didn't get off to the best of starts. Did kind of kill it in the pub for a little bit, I'll put it that way. 29 seconds? I can't even remember much about that goal. It's just one of those things. From my point of view, after the initial shock horror, oh no, it's like, well, if you're going to concede a goal, you might as well do it in the first minute. You've got 89 minutes to get back in the game, haven't you? And that's what we surely did. And we didn't really dick around taking too long over it. First goal, Dominic Solanke opens his account for Tottenham Hotspur, man. And it was a good, proper, centre forward, poacher's goal. A man with a football brain that knows if someone has a shot, there's a fair chance it's going to bobble out here. Brilliant goal for Dominic Solanke, well taken. So we equalised, but we didn't just equalise before the end of the first half. We went ahead through a mysterious goal that took me a while to figure out. Brennan Johnson, because I thought he just kind of crossed it in on the ground and another player somehow got involved, but no. Brennan Johnson, cool as a cucumber, putting all his doubters to rest, of which I was not one. So there you go. I'm right sometimes. I don't care about being right or wrong, just about supporting players, really. And I think Brennan Johnson, there's a player in there, and he showed it again last night, man. Very cool finish. 2 in a row, 2 from 2 games. And then in the second half, Brentford started coming back into it a little bit. Buemo, he's a good player, that guy. He's the guy that scored Brentford's goal, of course. He always seems to do well against us, that guy. He's a good player. But we weren't finished, man. We weren't finished. After 80 minutes, was it 84, 85 minutes, something like that? Wonderful move involving our senior players. Basuma nicks the ball off a Brentford player. Romero gives it through to Son. Beautiful ball through to Maddison. And again, a calm and composed and collected finish by James Maddison. James Maddison last night, that was one of his best performances in a Spurs shirt. That was right back up to what he was doing when we just signed him. Not only was he, creating inventive passes in the final third, but there were about 2 or 3 times where he was tracking back and he got the ball, and instead of just booting it or going sideways, he had the balls to take it on himself. Nice couple of dribbles, taking on players on and advancing the player. It's really, really good stuff from Maddison. I think Maddison overall had to be my man of the match. We conceded a few corners. I don't know why, but somehow we didn't concede a goal. There must be a thing about that. Apparently Tottenham are crap at set pieces. Yet again, no goals from a set piece. No goals from a set piece. Didn't even look dangerous, really, in danger from set pieces. And Vicario came out and took a couple in his hands, which people have been moaning about. But Brentford did try and play. That's our second good win in a row, playing a good footballing team. Coventry tried to have a go, Brentford had a go. They didn't play this. You could definitely see with Brentford that they were a good side, and you can see how they get results against the so-called, top teams. Because if they're not on it, the margins are small enough that Brentford can do these teams. Not always, not consistently, and they perhaps rely on a little maybe the opposition having a bit of an off time, but that's a hell of a lot better than a lot of teams in the Premier League. You could see that they were a pretty good outfit. They've been coached really well by Thomas Frank, even though he makes excuses after he loses. Ange seemed pretty happy after the game, and why wouldn't he be? Why wouldn't he be? Maybe some of our fans and people in the media, such as Jamie O'Hara, dude, what's going on with that guy? I haven't looked at it, but the thing came up. Jamie O'Hara says, "I'm done with Son." I mean, I don't know what game he was watching, but 2 assists, involved in a lot of the play. What do you want from him? What do you want from him? I don't understand it. Son had a great game. If you know, man of the match is, I think head and shoulders, James Maddison was man of the match. But behind him, Son had a brilliant game. Vicario, who I heard someone said had a 50-50 game, did he bollocks? Made some great saves. Only did a couple of, you know, but that's not 50-50. The two brilliant saves he pulled off, that's like scoring 2 goals. Our defence, Van der Ven, man, he was putting in some good tackles, as was Romero. Udogie was, I mean, all our players, we have a bad player on the pitch. Udogie was great, Porro, midfield, Kulu. I have to go, but you know, just as people, look, I never really bagged Kulu that much. I just was pissed off with him for 2 years of not playing very well. But even Maddison, man, in midfield, it's pretty tasty. And Bentancur had a good game as well. Maybe before he has a bit of an enforced holiday. And wasn't it nice in the second half to keep our foot on their throats? We're bringing on decent players now. Players that got a bit of a go during the week, so they weren't fresh cold, or opposite of fresh cold, you know what I mean, off the boil. Brought on Bergvall, brought on Moore for a little cameo at the end. Sarr came on. We're not bringing on Skip and Højbjerg anymore, or Gio Lo Celso. Oh my God, thank God we ain't got that guy in our team anymore. No, it meant that we keep going, and that's how we get our 3rd goal. Because we've got fresh legs and we've got a squad that is deeper. It needs to be deeper. You know, I'm not saying we're perfect or anything like that, but it's miles difference to last year. Miles different. I'm just hoping that these 2 wins on the row give us a bit of legs now, a bit of legs. It could be the start of a run like we did at the beginning of last year. Could happen, man. We did it before. There's no reason why we can't do it again, and do it better actually, because we've been playing longer. So I'm seeing definitely players are getting a load of confidence. Solanke, be great for him. Johnson, Maddison, Son, all over the park, man. We had players that stood tall, and it was great to hear the home crowd singing Ange Postecoglou's name loud and proud again. He's had a lot of flack. Our players have had a lot of flack. I think it's been unwarranted. You know, I've been Anging all the way. If we lost that game last night, I'd still be Anging, because we need to stick with the manager. And people still don't realise that Ange is one of the best managers in the world. But they'll get there. They'll get there. You know, we win something this year. I think people might start believing. But I definitely am. If we could just carry on from our performance last night against Brentford, and I don't care what people say, Brentford did try and play some good football. They weren't, you know, apparently under strength or deficient in any area. They held their own pretty well. Tottenham Hotspur were just too strong from them. Again, second game in a row where our quality over 90 minutes, man. You can never count us out of a game. Never count us out of a game. We look forward now to Karabag, our first European tie during the game. I think it's something like a 5 o'clock kickoff, so it's a nice early start for a watch along. But if you're in Sydney and you know, you fancy going to see some Spurs games, the old Surrey Hills Hotel was a lot of fun last night. I picked last night. I didn't want to do North London Derby because it would be jam-packed. I wanted to pick a quieter game where I could, you know, do a bit of reconnaissance. I had a few technical issues, but on the whole, I think the stream went really well last night. Good starting point anyway. Nice bit of atmosphere in the pub. Onwards and upwards, man. Was there anything else? Oh yeah, Vicario's handball outside the area. At least Frank was pretty good about that. Thomas Frank was pretty good, saying, well, you know, he handled it outside the area, but it didn't change the game. And that's the way I feel about most decisions, if not all decisions actually. No matter how bad they are, do they actually change the game? Well, I don't. I think it's debatable. I think it's debatable a lot of the time. Sometimes yes, but that Vicario one, no. And look, in my mind, he was this far inside. I can't use two hands at the moment. I think he was that far inside his area. Party time again for Tottenham Hotspur. Carabao during the week. Manchester United. We've got a nice schedule now. I think Ange's ambitious squad rotation is going to pay off, man. Pay off. People bagged it because they're short-sighted. They're short-sighted. They can't see what Ange is planning. I can. I think a lot of people out there can see what he's up to, what he's doing, and you can see that we're just getting better and getting stronger, and we're becoming a really nice-looking team, man. Nice and entertaining. So, well done, Ange. Well done, the Spurs. Let's keep going, man. Let's keep going. I'm having a ball. I'm enjoying my football. Thank you very much, Tottenham Hotspur. Peace and love, man. Peace and love, and come on, you Spurs.